welcome to Poison Pants Plays, the New York Times crossword for Friday, December 3rd, 2021. I have to warn you before I start that I am very, very tired. I hope this doesn't go too long tonight, or at least I hit my average, because I had a long day, and then I went out and had a glass of wine, and now it's after midnight, and I'm trying to do a Friday, which is not an easy puzzle. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, as I worried, nothing easy in the Northwest, and my only first pop here is a 10 across at 18. Across is a 10 that's for fresh burst of energy, which clearly is second wind. Let's move on and see if I can get anything to cross this. This is going to be a slog tonight. So here at 26 down, we have our first example of kind of some wordplay. It's mini a Guinness Book record. And so what I'm thinking is it's either an adverb that could apply to Guinness Book of World Records records, like most or best, or what other fours? Not highest, not fastest, but some superlative degree. Or it could be a noun that describes a record, some synonym for the word record. But I'm going to throw in most for right now because I can already see myself psyching out the constructor here by thinking the way he or she thinks. So unfortunately, no crosses to most, so it might actually end up being one of those other things I talked about. But then we arrive here at 29 across, which is new parents' purchases to block off staircases. And this is such an explicit clue that it's fairly clear, I think, that the constructor is giving us a toehold. They wanted on a Friday, when a lot of the cluing was going to be challenging, to give us at least this 9 right up the middle here that we could use to build some things off of. Or maybe they knew that some people would be going out on Thursday night and drinking some wine. So it's one or the other of those two things. Let's just take advantage of it and see what we can cross to Baby Gates. And sure enough, we can build off of Baby Gates to get some nice crosses down here in the southeast, including a couple of crosswordese words you should write down. ACAI, I think is how it's pronounced, and ETRE. That's 53 across, 58 across. Those are real common crosswordese. And I think with Baby Gates, we're going to be able to wipe out the east side here, or at least the southeast side here. So we're getting going. Maybe this won't be such a bad Friday after all. All right, plunging into the southwest here, I'm finding the cluing to be much easier. Maybe I'm just getting my second wind, 18 across. Do you like the callback? Or maybe it actually is easier. Every once in a while, you'll come across a puzzle that just has one awkward area or one spot where the cluing is especially challenging, and it might not even be anything to do with you. Oh, I isn't going to work there, so let's take fail out. That might not be anything to do with you. It might be just to do with the trivia you happen to know. Although so far, this puzzle is pretty low on trivia. 42 across, sanRAFAEL. sanRAFAEL is definitely a town that comes into crosswords a lot. And then we have all of these 10s down here, a little double 10 at the bottom and at the top where second wind was. I'm not detecting any kind of theme in these 10s, and then the couple of 9s that are in the middle and some 9s in the downs as well. I think this is a themeless, as Friday pretty much always is. Well, fairly frequently is. So we're just navigating our way through, looking for ways to knock out more individual clues so we can get them from crosses. "16 down, GWENifill is a name worth remembering. Gwen is a common crossword denizen, and GWEN has great letters in it, so you almost always see it clued as GWENifill. She was a news anchor on PBS until she died, I think, about 5 years ago, and then was on, she did a lot of political reporting, and I think she even moderated debates and things like that. That's GWENifill. Keep that one in mind. Yeah, this is going a lot slower than I would like it to, but I've got respectful here, and GAYICONS is kind of funny. I'm going to put that on the notable list. Adios Amigo finishes up the 10s here at the bottom, and so I'm very slowly biting away at the center of this puzzle, but like I said, it was a little bit more challenging than it ought to have been, given my state of mind. I'm going to illustrate my state of mind just by stopping here on 20 down, gender neutral possessive, and watch how long it takes me to figure out this clue. Yeah, that was like 8 seconds for a gimme clue, hours. I don't know there is any other gender neutral possessive pronoun than ours and theirs, which obviously doesn't fit. So, yeah, that was just terrible. 8 seconds to put in hours. This is going to be a long night. So I got this joke clue in the Northwest at Ohio, right? O on the ends and high in the middle, low on the ends and high in the middle, or whatever. And that gave me pretty much the foothold into the Northwest I'd wanted at the very beginning. So I'm not sure why it was so hard for me to figure that one out. This 25 across MF connection does not seem like a good English combination of letters. So I think that most has to come out, although the T crosses, but the rest of it might not. So yeah, Mara, ST in the middle of the name, well, that could be scans, but less likely to happen. Does not feel like that M needs to be there. Could it not be ours? I'm really just having to fight for every single one of these answers. Coruscates, I don't know that word. And I finally finished off the middle with go bag and loan. I'm thinking that my excitement about 20 down was incorrect. Given that 25 across is a comparative degree, it really should end in ER. One down challenge while sitting. No idea. My brain is just not working fast today. Yeah, my gender neutral possession turns out isn't ours after all. It's going to be one's, as in one's own thing. Most has to go away to make that MF connection work. MF is just not going to work in that place in a word. So that gives us at 4 down blanks, has no idea. And at 28 across scans. Don't know. I don't know that actress. And that still doesn't give me the Guinness Book of World Records word. It must be a synonym for record, I think, with a T at the end. Let's move on. All right, a little more attention on the Northwest, and it has mostly fallen. 5 across, that goddess is Osiris, and that's one that comes into crosswords all the time. Isis and Osiris both come up, and Anubis even sometimes. So I'm going to throw those on the list. So what I'm doing here at 12 down and 21 across is trying to figure out what cross is going to go into both of those. And I think it's going to be K, because that gives me desks and honks. But that gives me something I'm not familiar with for 11 down. So I'm not 100% sure how honks relates to bops. I guess you can bop somebody and honk their nose, maybe. We'll come back to that. So what's going on at 1 down and 17 across here is I'm having a hard time seeing how 1 down challenge while sitting is brat. It just didn't come into my head that a brat does have a challenge while they are sitting. And so I kept trying to squeeze in some other vowel. Aims obviously works well for objectives, but I tried E and U and all the others I could because my brain was working slow. And that's what happens when your brain works slow. Brat works fine. Aims works fine. That's going to be our Northwest. Again, here in the West, 25 across is my real issue. I can't figure out what less likely to happen is, so I am throwing in any other words that seem to make sense for the crosses so that I can hone in on my 25 across. I think 25 across is the linchpin here, though. So once I solve that, the whole West is going to drop for me. All right, I literally just spent over a minute trying to figure out a 2 by 3 letter block. If here reads and Kate and feet and irks reads fine, but I'm still not done. There's something wrong still. I have a feeling it's going to be up in the Northeast where I had some words I didn't know. 11 down specifically, a soist is not a thing. And 12 down honks for bops did not feel quite right. So let me just quickly do some cross looks and see if I can sort it. And another minute and a half goes by before I realize that that cable network was not SHO, but HBO. Whenever there's a cable network that I don't know, I try SHO and HBO. Those are the 2 3-letter cable networks that typically come in, as well as TMC, the movie channel, and sometimes even TBS, Turner Broadcasting, and TNN, the Nashville network. Those come in all the time, but for generic ones, you get HBO and SHO, SHO. In this case, I should not have made that guess. All right, let's take a look at our grid. Well, I think this is a good grid with some bad solving from a Thursday night wine night. I like some of these 10s. Up to no good is fine. Second wind is good. Adios amigo and just a generic adjective, respectful. Those work fine in the South. The issues with clues, I didn't really see any. There was a random actress clued for 34 across, one that certainly I didn't know, but it's just Kate, so you could have clued that a little bit more reasonably, even maybe with some older references, maybe a little more common references. You could have used Shakespeare, Kiss Me Kate. So 34 across, I did not like the cluing on. Steady gig is pretty cool, and not a lot of crosswordese, except in the 4s, of course. Is it possible there are no 3s in this clue, in this puzzle? No, there's some 3s up at the top and the bottom, but there are only 4 3-letter clues, which are 3-letter answers, which is kind of cool. So nice grid. Oh, I didn't see the HBO, of course, which killed me at the end. And Five Guys Named Mo. Oh, Five Guys Named Mo is probably a little obscure for crosswords. I know it because of the Manhattan Transfer song where they covered it and gave it lyrics, but I'm not sure that would be widely known enough, especially since you've got a 3 stooge named Mo you could use, although it is a Friday, so slightly obscure cluing is fair game. That's it. That's all I've got for you for Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.